Hello, everyone, and welcome to our very first ArtTech Conversation. Today, we're featuring Startbahn, a leading art tech company in Japan, providing sustainable blockchain infrastructure. Before I introduce our speakers, there are a few participants who cannot interact with us at this time. However, we still have a few spots available. So if you want to come into the room, please raise your hand so that we can let you in. And your hand is at the bottom right-hand side of your computer. Our With platform allows you also to interact with other participants, so don't hesitate to contact people who have registered. To do so, when you're on the platform, you activate networking. You can then exchange on a one-to-one basis with the people who have registered. And if you want to ask a question at the end of the presentation, you can also click on the hand at the bottom right-hand side of your computer. One of our speakers, Liz Luma, whom I will introduce in a few minutes, has kindly agreed to stay online after the discussion if you want to ask her some more questions. And finally, the presentation is being recorded and it will be available on YouTube. So we are very, very pleased to start these ArtTech Conversation with Taihei Shii, founder and CEO of Startbahn, and Liz Luna, Global Strategy Advisor. Taihei grew up in the United States. He's a graduate of the Oil Paintings Department at Tama Art University in Japan, and he also studied at the University of Tokyo. His work centers on the theme Art in the Internet Age. His work has been exhibited in many, many Japanese cities. He began conceptualizing, that's a hard word, Startbahn in 2006 while in graduate school, and earned patents for his blockchain technology, both in Japan and in the United States. He also teaches at Tokyo University of the Arts and gives regular conferences on blockchain and art. Also with us is Liz Luna. Before taking on the role of Global Strategy Advisor to Startbahn, she was Senior Director and General Manager of Artsy, the world's largest online marketplace for art. She began her career in arts fundraising, focusing on corporate and individual giving. She has collaborated with many prestigious institutions, such as the Los Angeles County Museum of Art, the Parsons School for Design, and the Metropolitan Museum. She holds degrees from Brown University and Harvard, focusing her studies on art and technology. So welcome to both of you. Taihei, let me start with you. You're an artist. How did you become interested in blockchain, and what initial opportunities did you see for this technology in the art world?
Overall, the Russian troops are facing food and fuel shortages, and low morale leading some.
Excuse me, before you continue, I'm going to interrupt. I'm going to ask if whoever is with us, if you could mute your microphone because we can't hear Taihei speaking. So, Taihei, try again. Sorry about that.
Okay, thank you. Thanks to ArtTech Forum for having us, first of all. Yes, thank you for inviting us. What was the question again?
And the question was, how did you become interested in blockchain, and what initial opportunities did you see for this technology?
Yes, I think I can, I will introduce my career later on, but the blockchain system was very good for overcoming the pain point I had back then. I was trying to send royalty fees to the artist in the secondary distribution of art selling, but it was very hard to realize that system with a web application technology. So back then in 2015, I found out that blockchain technology may be an answer for us, maybe a special tool that can overcome our pain point. And that from 2015 or 2016, we were sticking on this possibility of blockchain. And the possibility of blockchain, I think, especially in the art world, the art is not like it's not stable. It's movable, and it's bought and sold and exhibited all over the world, and it's hard to track the information, or it's hard to make the artwork information reliable. So for those kind of assets, or like the artworks, it's very good for to to ensure the value of artwork, I think.
And Liz, what about you? What excited you about this technology, and what made you want to get involved?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Marielle, and also thank you to Natalie and the Art Tech team for having us. I think, it comes down to a real interest in working with partners to explore and adopt new technology, right? So just a passion for digital transformation. And I think, it's been helpful to reflect back. I remember about 10 years ago, we were having conversations about whether or not it was a good idea to share images online, to kind of get more involved with social media. What would happen if images were downloaded? Museums were kind of debating open access for their collections. Fast forward another 5 years, and we were debating if collectors would buy art online, sight unseen. And I think, certainly in large part, maybe because of the pandemic, although I think factors were already afloat to make this happen. But, obviously now today, e-commerce in the art industry isn't a revolutionary concept anymore. But I think the conversations we are having today, and I think some of the cynicism almost that you hear in the sort of NFT discussions does kind of ring eerily familiar. So I think the interest is really about kind of seeing that pattern, and also acknowledging what that likely means for the future, right? So I'm definitely new in the space. I'm still learning. I see a lot of potential for it for the art and creative industries, for artists in particular, but really just want to be a partner in exploring how to begin integrating blockchain into one's strategy. Really interested to hear where there is that sort of trepidation and where there is that excitement, sometimes in equal measure in the same person at the same time. But being able to use that to help shape the innovation and the evolution in Startbahn's product in particular, but also I think adoption more broadly. So thanks for having us.
Well, thank you for being with us. And now, can you tell us a little bit more about Startbahn? Because your company is new, it's fairly young. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Definitely, Taihei, do you want to?
All right. So I'm sorry. I missed the question.
Okay, the question is, can
you... start it again. I'm sorry. So I am in the contemporary artist, and I graduated from the oil painting Kama Art University in Japan. I was a painter, and I wanted to be an artist, and I am an artist myself right now. I graduated from the art university back in 2001, and I started the whole process from 2006. Started from thinking of about the art in the age of information technologies. So how we can utilize technologies to make the art world better. So or to make a great infrastructure of art utilizing technologies. And back then, I as you introduced me, I invented this computer network sending royalty fees to the primary artist, and I was trying to make the web service or like make this idea. I wanted to realize this idea in the society, so I was kind of facing seriously towards this invention for maybe like 6 or 7 years, and finally I established a company called Startbahn Inc. back in 2014. So that's like 7 years after I invented the first royalty fee payment invention. And after in 2015, I finally made this web service where we can buy and sell artwork, and we can where you can resell the artwork, and of course the royalty fee comes back to the regular general artist. But a lot of people asked us, what will happen if this artwork be resold at the different marketplace, like eBay auction, or like a auction house. What happens to the royalty fees? And we can actually answer to that question correctly. And as I mentioned before, I encountered the blockchain technologies when I was feeling the pain point of web service, and then we kind of found out that blockchain technology might gonna solve our pain point, and after that we are continuously researching about this blockchain technology. So the whole idea is to start it from tracing artwork by utilizing the blockchain technology. Can you go back to another, the slide before, like page number 3? Okay, so before explaining what Startbahn, the blockchain technology, the infrastructure we're making, I'd like to explain briefly, very briefly, about what NFT is. People think about when people think about NFT art, people think about a lot of pictures of cracked face sold for $10 billion, or the picture of purple face moving around. That's a digital art sold in NFT marketplace is NFT art. But actually, the technology of NFT is not the artwork itself. So, like, as if you see this slide, you'll see a digital artwork, and there's a NFT. So NFT is basically a simple digital certificate, and the digital artwork can be combined to NFT digital certificate and become a unique NFT art piece. For the digital artwork, you don't have to make any special digital artwork. You can just take your photograph through iPhone, or you can just make a digital illustration on Adobe Soft. But if whenever you make a JPEG or movie data, you can just combine it to NFT digital certificate, and that will make you NFT artwork. Can you please go to the next page? And if we think of like a printmaker in the real art world, if you are a printmaker, or if you are an analog photographer, you can make make your artwork. You can duplicate your artwork and as much as possible, but the printmaker actually chooses several art piece prints that can be exhibited or sold at the gallery. So the print itself is easily copied, but the artist, printmaker, will just choose the artwork, like number it, and sell it by through galleries. So that's kind of same as what we do in NFTs. Digital artwork is very easy to copy and paste. You can easily duplicate 100%. But if you combine it to NFTs, if you choose the artwork and combine it to NFTs, that's going to be a unique artwork. So that's the process is very close to the printmaking process. So if you imagine this process, that's very easy to, I think that's going to be easy to imagine what NFT art is. Please go to the next page, please. And about the blockchain system, when we say NFTs, this is based on a blockchain system. And what blockchain system is based on, I think a lot of people knows cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency started from Bitcoin, which was invented in 2009 by Nakamoto Satoshi. What he did was manage the information, made a network of managing the information by a decentralized structure. Normally, when you pay money through the network, you have to rely on Bank of America, or you have to rely on the USA government, or you have to rely on a very, very strong, reliable, centered structure. But by using a blockchain network, there's more than like a few million computer network that ensures the same data. So it's very, very hard to change the information on blockchain or put fake information on it. So blockchain technology is the blockchain technology is a structure itself of a decentralized network to ensure the information with number of people. So NFTs are based on this blockchain technology. So so this is you can say if you put on a digital artwork on a blockchain system, that's going to be it's going to be the data is almost 100% non-editable by somebody else, and you can ensure the data itself, and it will remain there for forever. So that's the blockchain technology, and NFTs are based on this technology. So this is based. So you don't have to rely on Facebook or Google or some kind of Christie's or Sotheby's or whatever art distribution company or internet company. You can just put on the data on blockchain, and it will be a data that's managed, decentralized, and archived. Okay, thank you very much. And StarTrail is art infrastructure for art. So NFTs, you can just simply put a digital certificate on digital artwork. You can just combine digital certificate on digital artwork, but we are using this NFT technologies to put more information on it, so that we can archive artworks, or we can make the artwork value more easier to archive and inherit to the future society. So when you have an artwork, even it can, let's talk about the physical artwork. If you have a physical artwork and put the information on blockchain and connect it to each other, we can provide the information of provenance, or like the history of artwork, like where this artwork was exhibited, or who issued this blockchain certificate, which kind of gallery was managing this artwork, or like who possessed this artwork. Of course, this is we will hide the information of privacy, but we can basically track the insurance or the reliability of artwork, and it will be compatible to a lot of organization not only web e-commerce, web service, NFT marketplace, but also like nonprofit organization and etc. So it's a blockchain is a structure to archive and put the information of art and make it more reliable. Liz, I think you can add more.
Yeah, I think I can. Yeah, do you want to, Sophie, go to the next slide for me? Okay, so StartReal, as Taihei just mentioned, right, is our low energy use blockchain ledger. This is kind of, think about this as the foundation. And then we provide two separate access points to it. So first we have the API and SDK toolkits that help partners to launch NFT services on their own platforms. We will walk through this a little bit more in the discussion. And then we also have a user dashboard or app, kind of our interface, where you can easily visualize the data from StartReal in a format that you and I can work with, right? So connecting, the blockchain information to, say, an artwork thumbnail. You can also kind of edit some of that information within the user interface, and depending on your permissions and account type, you can issue and or transfer NFTs directly within that interface. So essentially both of these two cases ensures that you don't need a technical background to access our services. You can very easily get up to speed. I think what we'll do, actually, if we can go to the next slide, we wanted to talk through a couple of case studies. And I do want to first note very clearly that we do work directly with artists and with collectors. Today, we are highlighting specific B2B product applications, but I did just want to make that known that we work with collectors and artists as well. So first, we're going to highlight our licensed user wallet architecture and features, then our API SDK toolkits that I just touched on, and then lastly, as Taihei had also alluded to just now, our blockchain certificate and tag solution, which is specific to physical objects. So I think we can go on to the next slide, and just, a little bit of context and kind of thinking about this licensed user solution and kind of why this came to be. So I think, in most instances, right, if you're going to mint, buy, or transfer an NFT, you need your own wallet, right? So if you're an artist minting and managing maybe your own work, or you're a collector managing your own collection, that's a perfectly fine solution. But what I think becomes challenging within the art world, as an example, is that we have a lot of existing systems in place whereby handlers or artist liaisons oversee portfolios. So obviously that's the gallery example. Estates, museums have multiple departments of multiple people and curators and researchers, et cetera. Even an artist studio of more than 2 people. These multi-person operations, if you start to think about managing multiple wallets of multiple artists minting multiple NFTs, it starts to get a little concerning, right? In terms of how you can actually achieve that in a way that's going to be secure. I think we've all probably seen press about the fraud issues within some of the marketplace spaces as well. And I think particularly, related to NFTs being minted by people who are not who they say they are, or don't necessarily have the rights to mint a particular work. These were kind of the set of considerations, the problems that we were thinking about, from security, trust, and I think, frankly, utility as well, that became the basis for this solution. So I will maybe go to the next slide, and I'll hand it off to Taihei to dive into the details.
Okay, so if we think about the regular normal NFT marketplace, it's easier to describe what Structure is trying to do. Left aside, there's a current market structure. There's a marketplace like OpenSea. OpenSea is a reliable maybe reliable marketplace for a lot of people. But what if you want to issue an NFT, if you want to mint an NFT through OpenSea, OpenSea is connected to the NFTs. So the people 100 years later will see the contract and will notice that this was issued by OpenSea. But if you are a user of OpenSea, if you are a gallerist, or if you are a museum of and using OpenSea, there won't be any authentication of who actually issued the NFTs. So, but in StarTrail, there is the structure called licensed user, and this is what to ensure that the issuer, we for instance, if you are a Gagosian and the member of Gagosian and try to issue the NFTs of the artist, we first do the KYC authentication of Gagosian gallery, and we will make a smart contract called licensed users on a blockchain system, so that we can ensure that this NFTs or blockchain certificate was issued by Gagosian, and we can check that it was issued by Gagosian for more than 100 and 200 years. The basically most of the marketplace.
Ooh.
But in StarTrail, we will let the make the license user contract to ensure who issue the NFT itself.
Okay.
Okay. Can you go to the next page, please? And we
Oh,
Liz, you want to say?
did you want to continue on? Were you going to jump into it?
Liz, you can.
Okay. Yeah. Just as a quick introduction, right? So the API, this is one of the more recent products released in the last year, and certainly receiving accelerating product investment. I think in my past experience, one of the common points of discussion in the art market is sort of the value and the risks or potential upside, right, of sending one's hard-earned customers off platform. And what our API and SDK toolkits do is ultimately allow partners to implement these features within their own channel, so that they don't have to kind of make that decision about sending their customers off platform. So Taihei, I'll send it over to you now.
Yes, thank you. So this API solution is called the headless solution for to use. So if you are a big company and wanting to make an NFT service, NFT related service, like NFT marketplace or NFT trading card game or whatever, we provide APIs so that those people can easily make these reliable NFT marketplace without hiring any blockchain engineers. I previously said that we in the StarTrail infrastructure, we both manage physical and digital artwork, but not only fine art, we also provide this API to the non-art content. For instance, game or trading cards or sports card or manga, animation, or digital twin, fashion label, or whatever. So we simply provide API NFT solution for every kind of content management system. And this slide is an example of SBI NFT. This is going to be launched 2 weeks later from now, and this must be number one NFT marketplace in Japan. And they are basically using our infrastructure to create the marketplace itself.
Okay.
Perfect. I think we'll go to the last case study on tags. Okay, so finally, the tag solution for physical objects, which alongside StartRail was the sort of foundational product for Startbahn and developed before some of the more recent excitement around NFTs. So Startbahn initially sought to create a connection right between physical objects and the blockchain to add new measures for ensuring authenticity and I think really increasing trust, right? So beyond maybe the paper COA, certificate of authenticity, or maybe the receipt that you get from a gallery, if a blockchain certificate is issued alongside a work, both the collector, the artist, the gallery, or whomever you're buying the work from, everyone in that transaction can know that that information is secure and will be long lasting. It can't be lost or damaged, tampered with in the future. And I think it also makes that work much easier to authenticate in the future. So I think in that regard can help the work retain its value. So you can also imagine a number of non-commercial use cases as well, which I just want to call out, right? So museum collections might use this for archiving and record keeping so that they also have that sort of truly long-lasting and tamper-proof solution. Taihei, do you want to jump in?
Yes. In terms of individual collectors, the name and location are hidden, but they can be made public if the issuer wishes to disclose it. So basic information of the work title, artist name, size, medium, and date is disclosed. And for the more complex information, including the history of conversation and repair work, this access to information is highly customizable. We are very, very careful about hiding private information. Nobody likes to disclose information, where, to whom, and where, what you bought, price, and artwork, where and what, how, and how much the artwork was sold. So StartRail does not store these kind of information, but supports the reliability of transactions at the same time. The name of the party issuing information and the date of issuance recorded and can become proof in court.
Okay. Anything else you wanted to add? Or yeah.
Okay, this is an example of the CERT user. This was actually held in Japan last year at Art Fair Tokyo, which was the biggest art fair in Tokyo. And this was actually the most priciest artwork by Monet, and the gallery used Startbahn to ensure the reliability and the authenticity of the artwork.
Okay. Is this the last slide, or do you have another one?
I think yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your presentation. Listening to you both speak, it seems that blockchain technology is evolving really quickly. I'm going to ask you both these questions. What new applications are you excited about? Can you give, you talked about it a little bit, but can you give us a little peek of what the future is going to be like, some of your upcoming projects?
Me.
Either one.
Yes. Two big technology I am looking forward for is one is VR. People are calling this metaverse. but the metaverse world is very has very big synergy with NFTs or blockchain technologies, because people say that 10 years from now, the resolution, the sight of through the VR goggle will be as high resolution as the real world. So you won't be able to know if this is a digital, if you're looking at the digital artwork or not, physical artwork. So if the technology evolves, this metaverse technology, VR goggle technology, all those technology related to your vision, and it's going to be very easier to experience art or like possess art, show art. So I'm looking very forward for uh, metaverse technologies, I guess.
And Liz, are there some upcoming projects you can talk to us about a little bit?
Yeah, I first want to just kind of touch on the forward-looking possibilities, right? I think, first, secondary royalties and ensuring that artists have and can retain equity in their work, I think is a really incredibly powerful application. I also want to highlight museums and nonprofits, and really excited for them to start exploring blockchain more. Obviously, we've talked about maybe the archiving solution, but as a former fundraiser, I do see a lot of opportunity within fundraising, within audience building. I think the postcard example comes up a lot as a good way maybe to conceptualize how you can digitize and create new revenue streams from some of those gift shop offerings. But I do think that that's like just the tip of the iceberg. And art institutions of all sizes have such incredible content collections, not always with the copyright permissions to do whatever they want, but obviously with very strong relationships often with artists and estates to kind of foster that. Kind of tying back to what Taihei said, I think you can imagine the huge potential a museum would have kind of at the intersection of metaverse. But, I think there's just a lot of opportunities to kind of tap into their existing audiences, but also use this new technology to build new audiences. So going back to your other question though, Muriel, there are a lot of things in the pipeline for Startbahn in the upcoming weeks and months. I think Taihei kind of touched on one thing that has been announced, I think, within the last 24 to 36 hours, which is that our partner SBI NFT is relaunching their marketplace with Startwhale as the foundation. And so we've worked really closely with them on the rebranding and expansion of their early NFT marketplace. I don't know if maybe some people here are familiar with SBI Art Auctions, which is I think the largest auction house in Japan. And so we also work with them within the context of their art auctions, but this is another branch basically of the broader SBI entity. And so I think we have a real shared vision for promoting Startrail, but also kind of expanding and popularizing their marketplace. I think SBI is kind of uniquely positioned in the space because they do have existing businesses across art, finance, and crypto. And I think our plan is to keep developing and iterating on the features for that marketplace in particular, but also all of that iteration will be applicable and available to other partners for additional future projects as well. Taihei, do you want to also talk about the METI project a little bit?
Yes, actually, about 10 hours from now, 15 hours from now, the exhibition will start. I was at the gallery just 2 hours ago, and we are preparing for the collaboration with METI. METI is a national ministry of what's that? Industry and this kind of industry and what was that? Liz, you know, METI. If you Google METI government, you will see what they do. So this is a first national collaboration with a government sponsored NFT event, and we are doing a collaboration. No, we are doing making an exhibition showing a digital twin, not only the unique piece of the fashion brand. There's five very famous fashion brand. They will make a unique piece, a physical unique piece, and we will make this 3D dimensional digital data at the same time and exhibit it on the metaverse and also exhibited in the physical art world too. It's kind of hard to describe this exhibition because it's not only in the physical place. There will be a monitor that will show the digital twin, and you can also come into the exhibition through metaverse. So if you are in Japan tomorrow, please come to the exhibition. We'll be doing this for 10 days. It should be a very cool exhibition.
We have actually a question. It's not a metaverse. It's not a, it's a real question. So I'm going to ask the person who wants to ask the question to please give his name and so you can answer, please. Somebody out there apparently had a question. If you have your microphone muted, you need to unmute it and then you can ask your question. Okay, since apparently we've lost our question, I will ask you another question. There are so many other blockchain and NFT developers in the world these days. It seems like it's a huge trend. What makes your company so different? What makes your company different from all the others?
I will say that we have two points that's unique. One is that we treat physical and both physical and digital artwork. Most of the NFT companies does not do physical artwork, or they only do physical artwork. So we treat both digital and physical artwork. And in the physical artwork, we very respect the art market, the current art market, and it's designed for the people in the art market to use it very safely. And another uniqueness is that we started from the career started from realizing the sending royalty fees system. So we are focusing not only to the primary sale or the secondary sale, but also to the connection of a lot of system or a connection of the primary cell to the secondary cell. So we kind of are a hub of a lot of transaction, and in that sense, I don't find any company that's trying to do a hub itself. So that's I think is a unique point of our company.
Okay.
If I can I jump in on that?
Please jump in, please.
Yeah, I think just kind of having a fresher perspective on the company too. I think, that there are so many players in this space just seeks to validate that this is an interesting space with a lot of opportunity. So I think that's may not seem like a good thing, but it is kind of a good thing. But particularly about Startbahn, I do also want to highlight, we've kind of talked about it today, right? But as an artist-led company with extremely robust technology and extremely talented blockchain developers, it really is that kind of art X tech, the sort of domain expertise on both sides in equal measure, I think is actually really special. Beyond that, I think there is not a one size fits all approach, right? In recognition that, you know, this isn't a one size fits all industry. We work across a lot of sort of creative industries that have their own unique dynamics. So the range of solutions that we talked about today, I think hopefully help to reinforce that diversity of approach. But I think it's an understanding that artists or creators, you know, they aren't all the same. They have different needs, and the industries around them are also complex. So that sort of product variety is unique. And then we touched on it, but sort of more granularly, there is a really deep level of nuance that can be recorded within our smart contracts, which allow you, for example, on royalty rates. It isn't just standard across the board, it's 10%. Or even at the artist level, okay, this artist can be 10%, that artist can be 15%, but it's actually on the object level that you can select that, which again, I think in thinking about the industry that is very object focused, and you know, every object is unique, you do kind of need that flexibility. So those would be the main things that I would highlight.
Okay, and so now we're taking questions from the people who are following us, and apparently Natalie has a question that I think someone was trying to ask. So Natalie, if you can give us the question.
Yeah, hello everybody. It's just a question from my in fact, I think that the question is very interesting, very concrete, in fact. And he sent the question in the chat and says, let's assume I have a certificate for each piece of my collection. Now I want to move from one country to another. Can I simply show my certificates to the customs tax authorities? Will they accept the certificates in all countries? So very, very concrete. But I think that these are also these questions a lot of people will face now. Liz
Okay.
or Taihei?
That's
Go ahead.
Liz can answer that. Well, I actually I can answer this in Japanese, but I would say, okay, there's a law in every country, so the law is different in every country. But there's a like a DocuSign. Everybody knows DocuSign? DocuSign is like a service that lets you sign a contract through internet. So if you can just simply type your name and sign the document, and this is legally proved as a contract. And to make this legally legitimate, or how do you say this? Legally proved. The country has to make a law about the digital contract, making digital contract. And the blockchain technology is not luxury. There's not much luxury information in blockchain itself. So if you use a simple NFT marketplace, or if you use very simple NFTs, there's no way to proceed very proper procedure to make a proper contract through the internet. First of all, like for example, I want to sell my artwork to Liz, and I want to tell Liz that if you are going to resell this artwork, please give me 5% out of the transaction. It's to make this legitimate contract. Liz have to I agree button, and put the I agree, the the you have to put an official mark of Liz pressing I agree to some kind of document. So if we do this, this will be certified as a proper contract. Liz, can you help me?
No, I think
Correct.
that makes
But
sense
in
to
the
me.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, but in the NFT scenes, NFT is itself is compatible to a lot of marketplace. Even the marketplace does not have the rule to put the agreement, ask the agreement of contract. They can run NFT marketplace right now. So a lot of art NFT marketplace, they don't do this agreement process. But in Startro, we are trying to make this whole network to ensure these kind of inheritance of contract. So there's two obstacles. One is the legal restriction of every country, and another is the infrastructure that we have to update in order to make the whole blockchain system um, uh, to what was the question, to make it make it so that it will prove some kind of
So that it's
transaction.
legal, so that it's legally binding, basically, is what
Yes.
you're saying. Yeah. And I'm sure that that will evolve with the way blockchains and NFTs are evolving and becoming more and more popular. I'm sure all the countries will have to somehow have some kind of certification
Right.
that is for everyone. Liz, in your presentation, we have the feeling that when you were talking about your different solutions, that they're extremely user friendly, that you really put the artist in the center of everything. How important is that to you when you develop new applications?
Yeah, no, great point. I think it's critically important, right, with new technology or any sort of adoption of anything new, but I think particularly with technology, it does need to be user friendly. And I think it really comes back to the question of trust, right? So I think part of the hurdle maybe with blockchain is that we don't necessarily have yet a shared language for how to talk about what we even mean, right? So everyone's kind of coming at it and we're not quite all hitting on the same points. And that's where people, I think, rely on the types of experiences that they know mean or signify a trusted experience or a trusted platform. So yes, I think that is absolutely central. It's something that the team thinks a lot about and is continuously iterating on kind of how can we make it clear to someone both what to do, but also to ensure that it's just a smooth onboarding experience, because you just don't want people to kind of continue to feel like they're coming up against a roadblock because they don't understand something. I think particularly with this space, right, you get a lot of, even myself trying to kind of connect a wallet here or there, there's a lot of like sometimes scary text that shows up like, warning, if you do this, don't do this. And I think that that's important because there are, there are, maybe people out there trying to take advantage of people, which is the case in every industry. But I think those signifiers of trust are really, one thing maybe we could touch on too that we didn't talk about today is that our login to receive your into the user interface, so that you can access your wallet. You can do that through an email address. You can do that through a Google account. We have very recently added a MetaMask login because we have found that we do have users who are sort of more crypto native and kind of have that and want to use that existing wallet. But for those of us who don't have an existing wallet, this is a really easy and very sort of natural experience in the same way that, when I sign on to my Peloton, I use my Google two-factor authentication, or, Spotify is linked to my Facebook account. So kind of those same signals of a trusted experience. I don't know, Taihei, if you want to add anything, but.
Well, yes. To add, I used to be a teacher in an art university, and there was a class I was teaching. Maybe like 50 students were there, and almost in every class, 3 or 4 people couldn't double click the mouse. So in the art industry, like the artists are very not good at using computers. They are very they want to concentrate on making artworks, and not only artists, not a lot gallerists or art students are related. People are not good at technologies, so so we want to spread this infrastructure to the world. In order to do that, we have to always think about the technology, very, very easily used technology. And so the ultimate goal is that to make an experience like as if they are not using any technology at all.
Okay, we have about 5 more minutes, so I propose to just ask you one last question, and then we'll conclude. And Liz, you'll stay on if people have more questions,
Yep.
which we're very grateful that you're giving so much of your time. On your website, there is really a huge emphasis on art's impact on our society. It's sort of, I think, your philosophy, Taihei, if I kind of read right what you said and what the different interviews that you've given. Can you tell us a little bit more about that so that we can finish sort of on a kind of a optimistic note in this crazy world that we're living in these days?
Yeah, thank you. As an artist, I very believe on art. And if we look seriously through the art history, there was a lot of movement in the art history when the society changes. Like in Renaissance, there was a lot of new inventions, and the human being changed a lot. And there was a big boom of art, and in the initial age of modern art, there was a invention of camera, or and so on. There's a lot of invention that human being did, but every time the social society changes, art is growing and changing. And in this information age, I think the information age is still emerging, and the art industry is trying to is in the point of transition. I think hopefully this is going to be maybe it's going to democratize art itself. So that every single people will relate to art. Those kind of future I'm always imagining, and NFT marketplace maybe is a little bit too radical for a lot of people, but you can tell that it's moving a lot of people, not only a closed district of art, but also a whole people in the world. So I think this is just a day one of NFT revelation. This is a tool to empower an artist in a rural area, or the artist that's not living in New York or London, the center of art. But also for the people like in Japan, there's a relatively small art market, but there's a lot of artists that that's loving art. So I think through these technologies, the art is going to be spread it to the world, and it's gonna change the world very, very good, because when you're living in Japan, you will notice that a lot of people is not knowing what art is, and they have a sad face, and they can't a lot of people is getting conservative, and they can't think about a new world, and etc. Art is an area of creating unique ideas, or criticizing new ideas, and thinking of uniqueness. And I think from now on, this age is again is in the transition era. Thinking of uniqueness, unique ideas, unique creative is very, very important, and that's why I was saying that art is to if we spread art to the world is going to be way better.
Yes, I think a lot of us would agree. Liz, do you want to add something before we conclude?
How do I follow that up? If you
Yeah,
I just want to thank you all for being here, and certainly please feel free to reach out if you have any thoughts or ideas you want to bounce off of us. I think we're definitely, as we've expressed, working across a lot of different things that have multiple applications, and want to be partners and help, discuss, consult, advise on sort of what you're working on and how our technology can be of service.
Well, thank you both really for participating in our very first ArtTech conversation, the first of what we hope will be many, and we wish you great success for the future. So Liz, you're going to stay online for a little while if there are any questions from the people who are with us today. So again, thank you, and see you next time, and have a wonderful day or night wherever you are. Thank you.
Thank
you very much. Thank you very much.
So I don't know if there's any questions for Liz. I'm hoping that my faithful right hand Natalie will tell me if there are any questions.
Well, probably no.
Okay.
No question.
So apparently, Liz, there are no questions. Thank you, though, for staying, and
of course.
Thank you for all the work. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you all, and certainly, I guess people can reach out in the future.
Yeah.
Through the platform. So keep eyes peeled on that, and yeah, thanks so much for having us.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Alrighty.